How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about one of Donald Trump's personal lawyers, Michael Cohen, having his New York office raided by the FBI. Now, they took emails, they took tax documents, took a lot of different things from that office. We'll talk about that in a little bit more detail in just a moment. But this whole thing comes as a result, in my humble opinion, of the Russia kerfuffle, because you got Rosenstein involved, a lot of other people that are involved with that, Bob Mueller. They're kind of halfway involved with this, halfway not. I'll explain. But the FBI says that the reason why the raid happened was because of Michael Cohen's payment to Stormy Daniels of $130,000. Allegedly, the payment was made to shut her up about an alleged Trump affair. Now, I'm going to say alleged, because I don't know if the affair actually happened or whatnot. All that we know for 100% certain is that Michael Cohen did pay the money to Stormy Daniels, because he came out and said as much himself. I think he said it on television or some other way. But why the money was given, we don't know. Trump said that he didn't know he did that. Lawyers are coming out talking about that's unheard of. Why would a lawyer pay for their client's expenses out of pocket? But that's a different story. Before we even get into it, what I want to do right now is go ahead and roll this clip from NBC News. You're going to hear a little bit more about the situation after we get done with that video. I'll talk about that video briefly, and then I'll give you my thoughts about this whole situation. And then we'll see some tweets from Trump himself relating to the whole kerfuffle. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Tonight, a dramatic FBI raid at the New York office and hotel room of Michael Cohen, the president's personal attorney who paid off adult film star Stormy Daniels for her silence about her alleged affair with Mr. Trump 11 days before the election. Law enforcement officials say the FBI is investigating that $130,000 payment to Daniels, which watchdog groups have called a campaign violation. And today, investigators seized emails, tax documents, and business records, according to the New York Times, which first reported the news. Tonight, law enforcement sources tell NBC News federal prosecutors in Manhattan obtained search warrants after a referral from special counsel Robert Mueller, who found evidence of a potential crime, but determined the matter didn't involve the Russia investigation. Cohen's attorney lashing out, calling the move completely inappropriate and unnecessary, saying the FBI seized privileged communications, and arguing Cohen has cooperated completely with all government entities.
This means that prosecutors believe they have probable cause to show a crime has been committed and that they'll find evidence in Mr. Cohen's office. But what crime and who committed it, that we do not yet know.
Tonight, the president sounded off on the FBI raid.
So I just heard that they broke into the office of one of my personal attorneys, good man, and it's a disgraceful situation.
And on special counsel Robert Mueller.
A real disgrace. It's an attack on our country in a true sense.
Okay, so you saw that. You see what's happening there. Now, I think one thing that was not in this clip was Donald Trump's tweets. We're going to get straight into that right away. I think you did see him say that it was a witch hunt and it was really unfortunate, which of course it is. This has been ongoing for a year now. The whole Russia investigation, that seems to be kind of drying up. The leads are going nowhere. They're not really finding anything. When I say they, I mean the deep state, the swamp that needs to be drained. And before I even get into what they are doing, I just want to say that, of course, Donald Trump's campaign promise, or one of them, was to drain the swamp. I think he's doing that, but it's not an easy process. It's not an easy task. People want Rome to be built in a day. It's like people want the wall to be built right away. After their inauguration day, they wanted the wall to go from San Diego to Brownsville, Texas, but it's not quite that simple. But I digress. To get back to this whole witch hunt, the deep state, the swamp needs to be drained. They've been trying to get Trump out of there since he got elected, even before he got elected. I think even before the nomination happened, they tried to get him out of there. People in his own party were against him. I think we're seeing the continuation of that. People like Rosenstein, Bob Mueller. Now, some would say, well, Trump appointed Rod Rosenstein, and Jeff Sessions told Trump or recommended that these people get fired or allow themselves to resign. I think Rosenstein and one other person, I forget who the person was, but I'll put that in the box below. They actually submitted a resignation. They said, okay, we're done. Sessions said we should leave. We're going to leave. But Trump did not accept their resignations. He kept them in their current positions at the time. And then he appointed Rod Rosenstein as a deputy attorney general, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments below. And the reason why I say that about Rosenstein is because he is the one that is actually responsible for the raid on Michael Cohen's office to happen. Because this brings me back to the Trump tweets. In one of the tweets, Trump said, and I will place that on the screen before you, that attorney-client privilege is dead. Okay, if you don't know what attorney-client privilege is, if you have a lawyer, let's say you are a dope boy, murderer, robber, whatever, and you happen to get involved with some crime, and you get caught by the police, they're trying to send you up the river, away for a long time, you hire a lawyer. Now, you're talking to the lawyer about everything that happened. You're telling them exactly what you did, what you didn't do, and you're being truthful, because what you want is the lawyer to present a case that would get you off, get you a lighter sentence, or whatever the case may be. The lawyer can't be subpoenaed for their information to present to everybody, because that violates their attorney-client privilege. You can say certain things to your lawyer that the lawyer is not going to say to the public, nor are they going to be required to say it to the public. So when they went into Michael Cohen's office and they found those documents, the tax forms and emails, some of those things could be attorney-client privilege. And if that's investigated, now you're violating that thing right there. So I don't know how they got around that, aside from Rod Rosenstein signing off on it. Even though he signed off on it, I'm not really sure how they can violate attorney-client privilege at all. Maybe they can find some evidence in that. If it does not violate attorney-client privilege, they may be able to use it. But if it does, they can't. I don't really know how that works. If you know, let me know in the comments below. But either way it goes, it seems like a violation to me. If I'm going to my lawyer, I'm telling them personal things, then here comes the FBI going into his office, taking my personal things. I'm like, what's going on? What's really happening? It's a big mess. Bob Mueller, Rod Rosenstein, all these people that are involved with the Russia investigation have now shifted into the Stormy Daniels kerfuffle. They feel like there's more there. They have more of a concrete lead into the situation. They're trying to get through Michael Cohen to get to Trump, because Michael Cohen already said that he did pay the money. And furthermore, I don't know how that story got out that he paid the money to her. I have no idea how that got out. It could have been from the FISA warrants, which, by the way, Rod Rosenstein was also involved with, you know, abusing the FISA court to spy on Trump during the election cycle. Now, to Trump's defense, he did not know Rod Rosenstein was involved with the situation until after he had appointed him to this current role that he's in right now in the government. Will he fire him and Bob Mueller? Hopefully he does. It's probably the best thing to do. Actually, I know it's the best thing to do, but we really don't know what he's going to do right now. Of course, the left would flip, they'd bust a gasket and all this and that, because if Bob Mueller is currently investigating Trump into the whole Russia thing, and they think the Russia thing is real, the Stormy Daniels thing has legs, and then you fire Bob Mueller right in the middle of the investigation, how is that going to look? They didn't even like when he fired James Comey, although they were the ones, when I say they, I mean those on the left, they were the ones who said you should fire James Comey because of what he said about Hillary Clinton. Remember that when he came out on stage and said that Hillary Clinton was corrupt, all this and that, the Democrats say, hey, get rid of her right now. When Trump fired him for a different reason, all of a sudden it became Trump is a tyrant, he's a dictator, all this and that. So if you fire a guy who's investigating you right now, that's going to look very bad. Although at a certain point, as I close, I think that how things look can't really be how you go about doing certain things. You got to just do things that make sense. And firing these people that are engaging in the witch hunt, raiding Michael Cohen's office, one of Trump's trusted lawyers for 20 years or something like that. When you're doing stuff like that, you who are doing it, you are involved with tyranny. You are involved with the deep state. You are involved with dictatorship. This is like Banana Republic type stuff. I don't really know when it's going to come to an end, but hopefully it does soon. I think either way it goes, we have the right guy in office to do it. Maybe the whole Stormy Daniels thing made the FBI scramble, because the FBI, they have a very high clearance rate, like 98, 96%. They didn't want to spend millions of dollars and not be able to get a conviction. So the Russia thing dried up. The Stormy Daniels was more legs there. But now they're doing things that are way above and beyond the Call of Duty that may get them hemmed up, and it may be a blessing in disguise, because that may be an excuse or a valid reason to get a lot of these people who are making these decisions out of public office. So what do you think? Do you think that the people at the FBI, DOJ, whatever, they're engaging in the witch hunt against Trump? Is it kind of a soft coup against him? Like I said, the Russia thing had no legs. Here comes Stormy Daniels. It's a little bit more juicy. It's a little more to sink your teeth into. Okay, let's go ahead and go this route instead of where we were going before, which is a dead end. But do you think that this is a real story about Stormy Daniels, about Trump's lawyer? Do you think the Russia situation is going to be arisen from the depths of darkness and brought back to the light? Will it actually result in any kind of conviction? Will it result in Trump getting impeached? What do you think about this whole situation? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.